Attorney Lenore, my ex-husband is a recovering drug addict. He says he wants more time with our teenage daughter than he is allowed. I have told him many times, right in front of our daughter, how opposed I am to him spending more time with her. I felt she needed to know that her father isn't fully recovered and could lapse at any time. I don't want her caught off guard. Her school called and said she is acting out and that I may need to get her some help. What custody mistake did I make? Sincerely, the stable parent.
Well, number one is you disparaged her other parent, who is half of her DNA. Addictions are a disease. And while there might be reasons that you want to keep her safe and you're not sure if dad's ready, those conversations need to take place outside of your child's purview, even as a teenager, because she's going to doubt herself. She's going to doubt what she remembers about your interactions. If it was dad really present, or were they just putting on a show? Am I going to become a drug addict? Should I watch out for this? Does dad really love me, or does he love his addiction more? So many things about that were negative for this child's self-esteem. I'm not saying that the mom should totally discount the fact that dad has an addiction. Of course, but she can do other things to safeguard the child, such as asking for a hair follicle test, or if it's alcohol, asking that he use SoberLink, have his time supervised. All of those things she can do to safeguard the child, but she needs to make sure that that experience between the child and her father is always a positive one. The child needs of both parents to feel the love and support from both of them. And fighting an addiction is tough. And if he is being successful, her daughter should be proud of that. She should be proud of that. And besides that, Mom, you picked him as a co-parent. And I don't know if he had that addiction issue or not, but if you still had a child with him and you knew he had an addiction issue, what does that say about who you are as a parent? I mean, you're stuck with one another for the rest of your lives. She needs to work through who each of her parents are, but you don't need to make her think that her father is not a good person or that he doesn't love her because he has an addiction. Not in front of her. You can do things outside of her purview to make sure she's safe, and then she can have a say in what she wants to do.
Lenore, you mentioned follicle. What was that?
I'm so sorry. So what happens a lot of times in court cases where there's addiction, what is often requested is a hair follicle drug and or alcohol test. And these tests are performed for a different panel of drug. And generally, when they test the hair follicle, they can look back about 90 days to see whether or not somebody has been using a drug that they shouldn't be, or abusing alcohol. So that is often one way to ensure that somebody is maintaining their sobriety, because a urine test, one day somebody could be sober and next day not. SoberLink is something that's used for alcohol to ensure that the person is not drinking during certain periods of time. It's a test where the person that has the addiction has to blow into it for the other parent at certain times. So those are two things that can happen to ensure that the person is sober, and or especially sober when they're with the child.
I think the point that we often don't understand as divorcing parents is the one you brought up in the very beginning of your answer, which is how damaging it is to the child to listen to the other parent say negative things about the other parent, about their mother or father. It almost seems like we need to tell our children how awful the other parent is because we want to protect them, right? We want to protect them from the awfulness of the other parent. but it's actually the reverse that's happening.
It is. Kids are pretty savvy. They can see who their parents are. Sometimes what happens is if one parent is too negative against the other parent, they feel the need to become that parent's protector. They stand up for the parent because they feel that parent is not capable of standing up for themselves. And it really puts the child in the middle. And, I often say to parents, you're not doing your kids any favors by doing that, because the parent is half of their DNA. And if you say bad things about that parent, all you succeed in doing is making that child feel bad about themselves. And if the child sees that side of them that's, I don't know, like the other parent, like even something as simple as we both like peanut butter. Well, I can't tell the other parent I like peanut butter like my one parent, because that'll make me like that parent, and that, the disparaging parent won't like me because I'm like that other parent. It's a very confusing message to send. And no matter what age the child is, it's each parent should encourage the child to love each parent as they are and see them as they are, but not disparage them.
Yeah.